So sit back, relax, and let's start building. We're starting out by building a drill bit to help us clean our keyboards. We'll hot glue the head of a toothbrush to this bottle cap like so, and then attach it to the chuck of our drill. Now we can use the drill to help us brush away any loose dirt and debris from our keyboard. Let's convert our angle grinder into a circular saw. Screw in a large T-shaped door hinge to one end of this MDF. Then we'll attach the angle grinder to the long lever of the door hinge and make a slit in the MDF. Now we can use it just like a circular saw. We can use wing nuts as wire clips. We can pin these two sheets together with just a couple of zip ties and a couple of washers. Pass the first zip tie through the hole with a washer on both ends. Then use the second zip tie to fasten everything together. And lastly, just clip off the ends of the zip ties. Carrying large sheets of plywood is difficult and awkward. We can make a tool that can help us out. We'll solder this rebar together into a shape that looks like this. Then we'll add plastic tubing around the rebar for extra grip. We can see here how an expansion anchor works from the inside. Next, let's make an LED light that turns on when plugged into a USB outlet. First, we'll take a capacitor and solder it onto the USB plug. Then we'll solder on an LED light. Now we can plug in our light into our laptop or into a power adapter. Is there an easy way we can solve this equation if we don't happen to have a calculator? We can use this tape measure. Find the number we need and then fold the tape back on itself. We can even mark it in case we forget. Here's a helpful way to secure a chain to the stud by passing a bolt through the center. We'll need to add an adapter fitting to stop this faucet from leaking. First, we'll remove the faucet. Then, we'll add an extra metal fitting that we can safely heat up. Now we can use pliers to pull out the old fitting. We'll then use a pipe welding machine to make sure the new fitting fits nicely. Lastly, we'll screw our faucet back on. Now there's no more leaking. We can attach these razors to this comb with a binder clip and run it over our sweaters to remove any fabric pilling. Here's how we can cut this wood to fit this pipe through. Trace the pipe's circumference and then find its center. Now we can use a hole saw drill bit to cut out that circle. Our next project, we'll be making a little table using nothing but MDF and a router. Screw the board in place and then turn it to make perfectly round cuts. Now we'll cut the two legs so that they fit together. Then screw the tabletop onto the legs. It's that easy. We can round off these corners by first cutting a separate board in the shape that we want. And then we can use a special drill bit to trace along that board. We can turn these washers into a clip to hold rope together. Cut a notch out of the washers and pass a bolt through them. Wrap the first rope around the bolt and pass the other rope through the washers. Looks like this wrench isn't big enough to help us unscrew this cap. Let's use some rope and a square dowel instead. For our last project, we'll be making a miter joint with a thick spline in the center. We'll start by gluing two pieces together, cut at a 45-degree angle. Then we'll mark out where our spline will be using a pencil and a marking gauge. Saw out this area that we've marked out. And we can remove the rest of the wood using a chisel. Glue the spline into the space we've cut out. After it dries, cut off the excess wood. Then we'll sand everything to a smooth finish. Now just add varnish to seal the wood.
And this is a little secret for getting a better grip on your screwdriver bit. A piece of bicycle chain will do to secure a pipe firmly. You don't have a sander handy? No problem, you can easily make one yourself. It's suitable not only for working with wood, but also for sharpening knives. You have to be extremely careful with the wires. This is not the way to do it. We advise to fix the tip first, using a rivet. It's very easy to do it. Construction materials are always difficult to transport. This trick will help you not to scratch the car. It may take ages to wait for the windows to open in the car. We need to do something about it urgently. We suggest using penetrating oil. Check it out, that's another thing. Making a perfect joint can be tricky, but we know how to pull it off. Use this smart hack. You probably know that metal expands when it's heated, which is good for us. Let's use it to fit plastic pieces. We put all the little things for storage in the boxes and screw them together with ease. The lid has expanded and now closes perfectly. At times, building pliers or cloth pegs turns out to be necessary at work. Let's put a little effort and make the tools ourselves. Unfortunately, a regular screwdriver can't always be used in hard-to-reach places. And believe me, there are quite a few of those. We found a way out of the situation and came up with a prolonger for drill bits. Let's see it in action. Wow, it really does work when you can reach it. We made it. We can check another box. Work is always dirty on a construction site, so you should always have paper towels handy. But it's not so easy to get them. We came up with the best way to pack the paper. An extra light source is always good, but where do you get it if you're in the countryside? A small lamp is not difficult to make with a plastic bottle and a flashlight or a phone. It's true, you will need some dexterity and something to attach it. Strip the wires, insert a plug into the hole in the bottle lid and fix it properly. You can attach the other part. Of course, that's not all. What's missing is the main thing, the light source. Done! We connect a power bank. Elbow joints are a very good thing. It's good to know that they can be used not only for their direct purpose, but also as a holder for gardening tools. And they're so convenient. By the way, gardening tools can be short-lived. Never mind, we'll find another use for it. First, let's get rid of everything unnecessary. Believe me, what you're about to see will surprise you a little, but you will definitely not see such an item of interior design anywhere. And it requires very little, a rake and a couple of pieces of wood. I hope the dog won't mind. Well, here are the finishing touches. It already looks very unusual. Doesn't it remind you of anything?